Hello everybody, since it's 11:11 I could not resist doing a Divine Masculine reading. So here we go. This is the Queen of Heaven spread for the Divine Masculine, just to see where the energies are right now. I have already, as you can see, prayed, shuffled and dealt the cards, and we've got quite a lot that came out, more than usual. I've also set the intent that everybody watching should benefit from the reading and get at least one message, but as many as possible. So it really is up to you to look within and see what resonates with you and what doesn't. There's a lot of different cards, but please bear in mind it is a general reading. Really exciting stuff though. It seems to make perfect sense. Let me quickly explain for those of you who are new what the spread means, what the positions mean. This is a general kind of past, present, future for the Divine Masculine, depending on what timeline you're on. You know, it might be different for different people. This is an advice card. This is how they feel towards the relationship and the Divine Feminine. This is a message they have for you. This is the challenges that they've been facing, and this is something that they've been doing really well of late. And then here we have the underlying energies. So let's start. Let's have a look at where they have been. I'm also feeling that these are very interchangeable at the moment. They're very interchangeable. You know, they're all happening at the same time anyway. So, you know, the past energy and the present energy and the future energy are all very available right now. So we had, in the recent past, we have this Ace of Cups. So for the Divine Masculine, they found a wellspring of emotion within themselves, and for some people that's also realizing that they have who they are. It's discovering who they are in a very new way. It's discovering a new I want to say treasure chest almost of abilities and value that they hold within themselves, and also what they have to offer. They've discovered what they have to offer, whether that's talents, whether that's through service, through work, or whether it's through their own emotions, their own love, their own energy. Perhaps they're helping other people. And also for many people, because this is a romantic reading, it's also they've found a new lease of emotion, very genuine emotion for their divine counterpart as well. And it feels very new, or like a renewal, and it's very much organic and natural and overflowing. So beautiful energy, and they're really enjoying it as well. And this is, I'm also getting that this has been, I'm being drawn to the dove here, and I'm being told that it's also very much kind of divinely guided. This is kind of a gift that's coming from the guides, from God as well. Just it's a destiny, whatever you want to call it. It's there's a lot of support there, shall we say, from the higher realms. So that's really beautiful. There's something quite selfless about this card as well. It's something very natural, and it's making me feel like it's just the way things should be. Very nice. It might have struck them by surprise as well. See, this is almost like grace, these little droplets of water just raining down to the rest of this pond. So that's lovely. Where are they right now? We've got the Ten of Cups. And in this reading, the Ten of Cups is signifying a very traditional set of values and desires, actually. They're wanting the whole, you know, family happiness, family unit. Children are also on their mind. And I'm getting, particularly with the divine counterpart, whether they're vocalizing it or not to you, it's something that they are kind of having daydreams about, a lot of them. And a very idealized, I'm getting dreams. This rainbow is reminding me of all the different kind of daydreams that they're having about what their life is going to be like, all the possibilities. They're seeing all these possibilities, and it's making them feel very happy. But they are quite traditional institutions, like marriage and moving in together, engagement, parties, celebration, all of those things And I'm also seeing a lot of joy. It's bringing them a lot of joy, and it's very energizing for them, and it really feels like it's giving them life. Those kind of thoughts are what's a renewed, from both of these cards, I'm getting a real renewed sense of hope, real renewed sense of vitality, and just life in general, and celebration. It's really, really nice. Basically everything that, you know, you kind of are told you should want, and it's like the dream, the very, very, you know, the dream is a stereotypical dream for a reason, because it's kind of like what everyone wants. They're kind of believing that it's possible, or starting to believe that it's possible, or believing it's possible, you know. So it's great, and it's very enjoyable as well. These are two overwhelmingly kind of joyful cards. Here, with the Nine of Wands, it's a funny one. I'm getting mixed messages from it in this reading, because on the one hand, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, it's like a fear, a clingy energy, almost like a slight disbelief, a slight sort of paranoia that what they've got, or what they've possibly got. And I'm seeing these, you know, the little shoots that whatever they've got, it's developing. You know, he's almost afraid that something's going to happen and it's all going to come crashing down again, or they're all going to get taken away from him. It's all going to get taken away from him. So for the 2/3 of joy that there are, there's 1/3 of kind of fear. So to counteract the sort of the love and the joy. So these are very, very expansive cards, you know, because they're all to do with love and joy and happiness. And this is, and creativity, and kind of giving and sharing and all the rest of that good stuff. And this is to do with clinging. This is constrictive. It's fear. It's kind of taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back. That kind of energy. But it's fine. I'm not feeling that it's overwhelming at all, but it's something that they should watch for, because if it wasn't there, there'd be quicker progress. But on the flip side, it's good, because it's also a bit of a countermeasure. It's a counterbalance, and it's also causing them to see things. So it's also illuminating in its own way, because that's what fears can often do. They make us take stock of things, and the overwhelming feeling that I'm getting is one of power, because it's also facing up to certain truths. It's facing up to certain things that they might have been running away from, and this guy's not running. He might be standing there, he might be a little bit afraid, but he's standing his ground in terms of things that used to make him run away, because these things are worth it, and he knows that. Beautiful stuff. What do we have as an advice card? We have another wand. We've got the Ace of Wands. This is all about strength, this is all about courage, this is all about bravery, and this is all about creating what you want, believing in your power. So divine masculines out there, really kind of take hold of your masculine energy, your masculine power. This is also a very sexual card as well. And I'm not saying, like, you know, you have to kind of go, well, just go for whatever you want. I'm really getting a kind of just believe in yourself and create what you want to create. If you have dreams of being that alpha male that's going to go in there and, like, you know, sweep the divine counterpart off their feet or whatever, if that's what you want to do, then do it. If you want to do something completely different, if you want to wait there and wait for them to approach you, do that as well. But however you want to do it, because ultimately you're the one that's creating or co-creating the outcome that you desire. So be very conscious of your thoughts, because they have a tremendous amount of creative power at the moment. And this also applies to your work. This also applies to any kind of self-development projects that you have going at the moment. So I don't know if that's fitness, I don't know if that's a healthy diet or a new diet, or some kind of plan to do with work, or a business idea that you might have, or even I'm seeing also creative ventures as well, like any kind of learning that you are doing, be it spiritual, be it some kind of hobby, or whatever it is. You're in a very, very creative space at the moment, and a space of great possibility and great power. So use your thoughts consciously. Be very aware of your thoughts. Again, it's wonderful. And also, whatever it is that you want, you can create the outcome that you want as well. So have fun with it. Definitely have fun with it. Now, for the how they are feeling towards the relationship, we have 4 cards here. We have got the Knight of Cups, the King of Swords, the 5 of Swords, and the 2 of Pentacles. And they on the one hand, they have different messages for divine masculines who are at different stages, and on the other hand, they tell a story themselves. So let's have a look at the first card, which is the Knight of Cups. He is very much the emotional knight. He wants to communicate. He's going towards the divine feminine, and he wants to express his love. He wants to express his emotions. He wants to express whatever's in his heart, whatever that may be. He's got stuff to say to the divine feminine. For some people, they're very, very ready to do it. They're at this stage already and they're totally comfortable to do it and take that level of intimacy and communication to the next level. For some people, they are more at a King of Swords kind of place. The King of Swords, again, very regal. He's also very brave, and he's all about using the sword, which is his intellect, very, very wisely and very ruthlessly, and just cutting himself free from things that he no longer needs. Be that unnecessary mental baggage, mental stress, cutting people that he doesn't need from his life out of his life, people that are already gone, removing them from his life to a new level, new levels of freedom, new levels of mental clarity, new levels of strength, and again power and courage as well. He's also he can be seen as being a little bit ruthless and a little bit cold, but it's all for the best, because I'm getting, for some of these people, it's also giving them a slight sense of isolation, but it's only because they are sorting through what it is that they need to sort through. They're sorting, they're trying to find their own truth. They're trying to find their own direction. They're trying to find their own way. They're trying to free themselves from a lot of the lies that they feel that they were sold, or that they believed, or that they kind of partook in themselves, lying to themselves from the past, and also believing other people's rubbish, and freeing themselves from fear. There's a lot of things that are happening, but it's all ultimately very good. It's all to do with their maturation and their development, really. Evolution. I love that word. Evolution. We've also got the 5 of Swords. Now, the 5 of Swords is battles. It's battles that have been won. This guy has, he's got the spoils of war because he's overcome some of his demons. And I'm happy to see a 5, actually, because 5 is a very, very powerful number. Some people see it as being, on the bottom of the circle. If number 1 and number 10 are at the top, they see 5 as being at the bottom of the circle, and some people see it as conflict. Some people see it as being the furthest away from divinity. I don't see that at all. Everything's divine. And actually, the number 5 card, because it's so mercurial and it's so changeable, it's very, very adaptable. And if you use it properly, if you use the 5 energies properly, you can flip the switch from the lights being on to the lights being on as quickly as physically possible. So 5 is also the number associated with, as you guys know, I'm Hindu. I really follow yoga a lot, and the main kind of deity that's associated with yoga is Lord Shiva, and his number is number 5. He's also seen by many to be the most powerful of all the gods, and his number is number 5. The mantra that we say for him has 5 syllables in it, and he's also known as the 5 syllable something or other. So 5 is a very, very good number to see right now. It shows tremendous possibility. And it's a card of victory. Here it's a card of victory. It's victory after, it's a fresh victory, and it's victory after a battle that you've actually, you know, it's well deserved, basically. So I'm liking the fact that it's appearing, even though some people might be feeling quite exhausted because of it. It was definitely worth it. Next up, we have the Two of Pentacles. This is very, very symbolic, actually, because I know a lot of people have been wobbling recently. A lot of people have been feeling a lot of things changing, emotional upheavals, and also almost feeling like they are just being kind of tossed about on the waves and they don't know what's happening. It's been very back and forth. And this is a card of, again, you've got the infinity, you've got the twin flame symbol. It's very much to do with pointing you, just reaffirming, reassuring you that you're on, you know, you're going in the right direction and everything is happening as it should be happening. And it's all there to help you find your balance. Because every time you say, you know, if one day you grew tremendously tall, all of a sudden, you'd probably need a little while to get used to, you know, to find your bearings, to know how to navigate your new surroundings and your new physical vessel, all sorts of things. Say you ended up in a new place, you know, if you move to the southern hemisphere, the way that water goes down a drain is like the opposite way to the way it does in the northern hemisphere. Things are different if you move or if you change, and for different people it kind of affects them in different ways. So it's all about finding a balance and an equilibrium in your surroundings, because there have been transformations, there have been changes, and the Divine Masculine has transformed. So that's what it means separately. And when you put it together, for some people, it's basically saying they're feeling very, very up and down at the moment. In the middle, we've got the Two Swords cards, and it's the mind, it's their mental barriers, it's the mental battles that they have to win in order to do what they want to do, which is progress forward and present their emotions. And present themselves, actually. I'm really, really getting, they want the offering that they want to make. This cup here is actually them. They want the acceptance from their counterpart. They want to kind of bare their souls. I'm hearing that word intimacy again. They want that. That's what they really, really want. But there are a few mental barriers and even physical kind of things that are a little bit in the way before they can do that. And that's where this fear comes in. It's related to the swords there. So that's actually beautiful, beautiful reading. What does the Divine Masculine want to say to the Divine Feminine? Another two cards came out, and they were the Two of Cups and the Six of Swords. And here I'm getting... on the one hand, the Divine Masculine wants to take the Divine Feminine away. And weirdly enough, I'm seeing this kid as like a spirit child, as like, as either a guide or a child. But it's an energy of both of them. And the swords here, they're protection and they're also a barrier. I'm seeing that they very much want to be the sort of the protector, and they want to, but there's still a sadness there. There's still a sadness, and I'm getting regret. I'm getting the fact that right now they're trying to figure out how to take you away from the swords that are here, but they feel like they're the ones that have put the swords there as well. So any kind of sadness or pain or kind of blocks or in any way that they've held you back in the past, they want to take you somewhere else and make up for it it's a desire for a new start. That's the overwhelming message that I'm getting, that they really do want to, and that they actually, in some strange way, they actually are moving the relationship along somehow on the way to that new beginning and that new start, where this can happen, where everything's kind of, they're away from everything else. The only thing that's there is kind of this divine being. The lion is bravery, the wings are freedom, and the two snakes are Kundalini Shakti. They are, it's that very much that kind of divine energy that we all have within ourselves, but it's risen up already, and it's intertwined. And again, I'm hearing it's all about connection, it's all about intimacy, it's all about creation, joy and divinity. Again, I'm seeing this this house in the background that is reflecting, it's this house, it's their house, this is them. And I'm also seeing like the two snakes and the two children here. They are, you know, they're children that need to come through for many people, not for everyone. And they're very powerful and very divine beings in themselves. So very, very interesting stuff. It's very much kind of, and this is, weirdly enough, this is also talking to me about destiny. It's also talking to me about a plan, that this was all planned a very, very long time ago. And it's actually the divine masculines that are actually, even though it doesn't look like, we can't see his face, but it's actually him that's looking up and steering this boat. So he's basically saying, look, I'm doing more than you think that I'm doing. I'm doing more than you know that I'm doing. You can't see what I'm doing because you're looking down, and your view is actually blocked. For whatever reason, it's blocked by your own thoughts. Some of those thoughts were put there by the divine masculine. They are his swords. But the point is, they're saying, look, I'm taking you here, whether you know it or not. So yeah, that's that. What are the challenges for the divine masculine right now? Another two cards came out. The challenge is letting go of all these, the mental thoughts, the negative thoughts. The Four of Pentacles is, I'm really getting that clingy energy from this. It's clinging on, and it's fear-based. He's almost afraid to let go of the mental negative thoughts because they provide a certain level of comfort. It's a very, you know, limited little dark place of fear, but you know, it also feels very familiar and very safe. And you know, if you ever look at little baby animals like kittens and stuff, when you first get them, they're just terrified to go into massive big spaces because they don't know what's out there and they feel very overwhelmed. So you know, sometimes they like staying in little cardboard boxes or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're cats and they're meant to be free. They're meant to roam everywhere. You know, the same thing goes for like lions and stuff, and they're the king of the jungle. So it's about letting go of things that may look good. He needs to let go of these little chump change little things that he has. They're actually just trinkets. He needs to kind of get rid of them so that he can kind of recognize and get comfortable with having more space to kind of receive some really, really good things. So the challenge is the grip that he has on his negative thoughts. He needs to loosen that grip, let go of them, and change. He needs to create better thoughts. So yeah, these swords here, they actually, for many people, they do actually have a little bit of a negative. For some people it's negative. For these people it's definitely negative, and they need to let go of them. For some people, the King of Swords is really, you know, and the Five of Swords, it's just all about winning the battles. It's about kind of taking what you need and leaving everything else, and being very conscious in what you are choosing to believe, what you are choosing to create, and what you are choosing to send your energy towards in terms of your thoughts. So what's the Divine Masculine been doing well? Interestingly enough, we've got the Three of Cups and the Star, and both of these are incredibly positive and joyful, actually, so well done. This is a card of celebration. This is also to do, in this respect, it's very much to do with the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine, and the third energy, which is their joint energy, which is something unique in itself, and it's that dancing within, all together within themselves, amongst themselves, I should say, and it's very joyful. The interesting thing is, for some people, this it might not look this way. It might look completely the opposite. It might look like everything's falling to shit for some people, excuse my language. However you perceive it right now, that's how you perceive it right now. But the message is there is an underlying plan, and a lot of this was kind of decided for many of you a long time ago, and you both decided it and sort of said okay to it together. Also, the other thing that I'm getting is it might seem incredibly like the absolute opposite of a celebration, and for some people it might even seem like an actual third party is involved, like a karmic or whatever. But even that, it's all part of the dance, and those characters will enter and leave the stage, the choreography at the designated point. The Star is referring to manifestation, actually, to dreams coming true, to success, and to a lot of, again, divine assistance. It's also a very giving card. It's a dream. It's a card of sustenance and a card of nourishing, actually. So it's beautiful. It's really nice, and these are all things that the Divine Masculine has been doing incredibly well. They've been doing. It's almost a card of dharma as well. Like, so it's almost like duty. It's almost like purpose. There's a lot of that I'm getting from this reading. Actually, it's wonderful. I feel like no matter what things look like on the outside, and for a lot of people they're looking really good, it might be really up and down, because the Five of Swords is very mentally, it's very kind of, it can be quite choppy, and as can the Two of Pentacles, but ultimately everything is it's exactly where it's supposed to be. And cards like the Star, the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups as well, the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups, all kind of confirms that, because they are very joyful cards. So please focus on that. Focus on letting go of things that don't serve you. Tap into the old, the King of Swords, and he can help do that. What's the underlying energies? The underlying energies we have, it is the Seven of Swords, and what that means, and it's right underneath is the Death card as well. And the Death card is just symbolizing how the Divine Masculine has already transformed. He's already transformed, and he's already gone through some alchemical process whereby he's at a stage where he can actually leave the things that he doesn't want anymore to some degree. For some people, the Divine Masculine is taking away with him the swords that he wants and that he needs. For some people, and he knows exactly where he's going. He's so confident and he's so capable. He doesn't even need to look where he's going. He's holding all these swords. He's balanced them perfectly. He's looking the other way, and he's off. For some other people, these are still things that he's not ready to drop yet. Like, it's these swords. It's these swords which he's still afraid. And he's clinging on to them, even though, he's clinging on to them needlessly, even though they're causing him pain, because he's not holding the handles, he's holding the blades. So But either way, his load is definitely lighter, and that's how he's transformed. So there's still some ways to go, but it's really, really positive. So carry on the good work. Carry on the good work, and definitely tap into all of these Ace of Cups, Ten of Cups, Two of Cups, Knight of Cups energy. Okay, thank you so much for listening. I hope you found it helpful, and I will catch you guys next time. Lots of love. Bye.